Hello everybody, this is Kira's show here. Now then, I'm aware that it's... I just bit my tongue. I'm aware that it's 1 a.m. my time, but I at least wanted to post a video. Now then, let us pick up where we last left off. Deku, he had just taken over the zero pointer and controlled it. He was almost disqualified, but after President Mike went over his quirk documents and watching Deku move and use his quirk on the zero pointer, he would have had to overlook this. Now then, Deku and Mei, they are talking, as they would be walking out of this area. As soon as that happens, Ida would run up, along with Ochako, as these two would immediately begin questioning exactly what was that. You've cheated, correct? No, I didn't cheat, I just used my quirk. Please then, enlighten me as to what your quirk is. My quirk is called Technopath. I do not believe you. That is far too specific for the situation. As Deku would do one thing, asking Ida if he has a phone, to which he would say yes. Deku would then just pull up his sleeve and reveal BT, as he would say, good. BT has already found your name. You're Ingenium's brother, and also as he would keep saying information. Ida would just tell him to stop, he gets it. As he would somewhat just say that, he's sorry, but you really should not have breached personal information. No, I just asked BT to look online and with anything that corresponds with your name. And he found Ingenium. Wait, do you mean... As BT would pop on screen, saying hello. He is BT, the pilot's onboard assistant. Now, as BT would say that, these two would just stare at Deku for a second, asking why he has a pilot's AI in his arm. Well, I'm going to be a pilot. No, you're going to be a hero. I don't see the difference. Well, you can't accomplish that dream without a suit. Oh, really? I would call in Ion, but I don't want to cause a titanfall here. Now, before Ida can ask any questions, this is whenever Bakugo would come up. As he would just say that was a bit tricky. How did you guys do? As Bakugo would look over, seeing this awkward tension between Deku and this guy in glasses. As he would somewhat just push these two away from each other, asking exactly what's going on. This brat thinks he's able to get into pilot, or, well, this guy thinks he's going to be a pilot, plus he hacked my phone with his quirk. Well, he is. What? Trust me. I've known this guy since I was about... hell, grade school. He's built a couple of things you won't believe. Yeah, I also have kinda been to places you wouldn't believe. To which Deku would somewhat just laugh for a second. Very, very nervously. Now then. After that happens, Deku would just say that this is all fine and it should all be accomplished and sorted out. As Deku would just hold his hand out saying that he's sorry but no hard feelings. He just didn't expect someone to be a little aggressive in his approach. You kinda need to chill out, Tenya. Just call me Ida. Besides, I've got enough points to where I believe I will be in Class 1A. If I do see you there, then, well, refer to me by Ida. Or just call me Ida. Now, Ida would then just walk away, as Ochako still hasn't gotten a question answered. Why is he trying to be a pilot in UA? Well, they always inspired me, and as Deku would somewhat go on ranting. As May and Bakugo would just stare at each other for a second. Watching this happen. mm. Now, a couple of days later, Deku and May, they would have actually created, well, not created, but they would have been at the tech lab as they are talking and actually working on more projects. Deku would just talk to May as he asked her exactly what's her plan for the armor now. Besides, if they're going to be in UA, you kind of need a hero suit, right? Well, you see, that's where I thought of this, as she would hold up some armor plating. Deku just looking a bit puzzled, asking exactly what is that? Well, I had an idea. I don't like where this is going, but continue. Hey, I'm joking. Okay, so it might not look pretty right now, but this is basically what I got. As she would hold her watch, pressing down on it, as a hologram would appear, showing what appears to be a 3D blueprint for a suit. What exactly is this? Well, I mean, I call this the Mark 1. The Mark 1? Really? Well, just prototype doesn't sound good. Besides, I'm trying to make something that can go with the suit. You have the emergency ejection system. I don't have anything else. So, if I have something underneath that I can protect myself with, so you're basically putting yourself inside of a suit. Well, yes, actually. As she would show Deku exactly what she means, walking over to a very, very big tub. She would dip her hands in as she begins to mess with something on her arm. As this happens, her entire body somewhat gets coated in this substance, as she would lay down the armor plating. She would turn around as her arm is covered, showing nanites, and, well, this very tough plate. She would just say that she doesn't have enough time to build a chassis or a proper one. Besides, nanites, they're plentiful enough. If my armor underneath is coated with enough of them, and I have some in my support gear, then that means I should be able to at least keep them up in battle. Besides, the ones in my system at least do help me and provide me a little bit of an extra edge. So you're gonna flood your system with nanites? What? No, no, no. I'm just thinking about this. As May would someone just bring her hand up, scratching at her hair, or scratching her head. She would just say that this has been a bit difficult, trying to keep up with him. You kinda need to slow down, as she would someone just laugh. Deku watching her actually smirk. Now then. Now, they would eventually get their letters for UA, as they are told that they are in Class 1A. Now, let's get over to there. Over for Class 1A, this is where Deku, he would walk in, with May at his side. A lot of people are just staring at these two as May would just walk past them and go to her seat. People would just still be staring at Deku, as he would finally open his mouth to say something. As soon as that happens, this is whenever May would, well, not May, Ochako would immediately run in, as she would just start talking with Deku, saying that it's amazing what he did and that was actually unbelievable. To which Deku would just have to say that it's not really anything, it's just his quirk. Well, someone would just speak up asking exactly what did he do? Didn't you hear? He took control of the zero pointer. Wait, the actual zero pointer? That huge robot, what did he do with it? Well, he kinda got to stomp around and destroy other robots, so it was actually pretty interesting. Really? What was his high score? I don't know, but I heard it rivaled All Might's. Now, before that can continue, this is whenever Deku, he would just sit at his desk, as he pulls out somewhat of a visor. Now, throughout the couple of days or 3 days he's had, through falling asleep, waking up at his workstation, continue working and rinse and repeat, and the couple hours of lucidity he would promptly be provided, after getting more than 3 hours, he would have decided to somewhat try improving a tracking system, or at least adding heat sensing to the helmets. He has the piece disconnected as he is trying to get it to work. People are watching him just sitting at his desk working on this as he is quiet. Now, as soon as that happens, Deku would just say, "That should be working now," as he would somewhat just fold these over his face while his goggles are still at his neck. He would just look around as he sees that everyone is somewhat glowing red, so it's at least showing their body heat. Good. As he would look straight forward, he would just see that the desk is glowing red too. That's not right. As he would just take this visor off, carefully putting it on his desk, as he would walk around and look underneath it, asking exactly what is going on. Aizawa would just turn, looking at Deku, as he just says, "So you're the pilot wannabe." The what? Never mind. Well, as Aizawa would just crawl out of his sleeping bag, standing up saying that took a bit longer than he thought. 20 minutes to be exact, so listen everyone. We're going to be doing a quirk apprehension test, a physical exam. Someone would speak up saying that that's not right, but they would be ignored, as it is told that last place will be expelled. Now then. Ugh. Just like usual, Class 1A, no Ayama. Replaced by Ibarra, Invisible Girl replaced by Kendo. Now, this is whenever they are all in the locker rooms, as people would somewhat be staring at Deku. Deku would just turn looking at them as he would just ask what's going on. Wait, you said your quirk was Technopath, right? Yeah, I can. So what exactly does it do? Does it boost your physical strength? Or does it do anything other than that? No, this is actually from training. Besides, I'm gonna be a pilot, so I've been a bit busy. Busy? Before that can happen, Mineta, he is trying to look through the wall. As that is happening, Deku would have walked over, putting his hand in front of it, and smashing it forward, as he slaps Mineta across the face. As that happens, Deku would just tell Mineta to back away from the wall, as Mineta would begin to cry. Meanwhile, in the girls' locker room, they would have just heard this ever-loving, loud bitch slap, as he would ask exactly what was that, to where Jiro would say that she's pretty sure someone just slapped whoever was in front of the hole, as she would look through, actually seeing Deku. She would just say that it's some really buff guy. Wait. No, it's not Bakugo or Ida. As he would turn around. Now, Jiro would just back away as she is actually blushing very hard. She would just turn asking exactly, why is that guy so buff? To which the girls would be somewhat confused. This is whenever May, she would just say that she's guessing Midoriya, right? So, you know about that? As one of the girls would just say that it can't be that bad, or as Momo would look through, she would just see that Deku is very buff, and he's already put a shirt on. But she can see his forearms, and they are very big. She would just say that it can't be that bad, or he can't be that buff. As they would all walk out. Now, this is whenever Aizawa would hand Deku the ball, as he would just say to throw it normally, without using his quirk. To where Deku would just say okay. Now, as he cocks his arm backwards, he immediately rushes it forwards as he throws the ball. Aizawa would have tried to cancel his quirk, but not gonna happen, bud. As Deku would somewhat send the ball 500 to 600 meters. Asking exactly what the hell was that? To where Deku would just say that he works out a lot. Besides, he doesn't focus on just getting bigger, he focuses on actually using the muscles properly. Now then, this is where Mei would go up too, as she would probably get 400 to 500 meters also. Confusing everyone. Now then, this is whenever the 50-meter dash would begin. Deku, he is placed up against Ida and Bakugo as in canon, however he actually does hold up. Somewhat not tying with Ida, but at least getting 3 seconds or 0.3 seconds ahead of Bakugo. Now, that would go the same. Somewhat. This would go like this for a little while, but Bakugo's quirk can give him the edge, since it is boosted by 1 for all. Now, Deku, he would at least place 2nd to 3rd, while Mei would place 4th to 5th. Now, this is where the combat portion would happen, and yes, Mineta is kicked out of Class 1A. Replaced with Shinso. Now then, the combat portion would go a bit differently, because whenever people do watch Deku's case come out, it looks a bit bulkier and a bit heavier. As Deku, he would have immediately began getting things ready in the locker room, as he would change. People would just watch Deku as he has a bodysuit. His body... Did I already pass it? Where is it? Alright, sorry about that, guys. I could not find the picture, apparently. I deleted it by accident. Now then. Deku, he would just pull out this big, bulky... well, what looks to be a big, bulky muscle suit. Or something to cover his body, as people somewhat stare at him. Deku would begin by slipping his leg in as he slips his other one in. He does the same as this suit. It doesn't make Deku look like this, before anyone asks. Deku, he still is around his regular size, or at least a bit bigger. Not around Ida's height, but I believe Ida's 6 foot tall, and I think Deku's like 5'5", so I want to say he's at least 5'7" to 5'8". Actually, no, I'll give Deku the benefit of the doubt and say 5'9". So he's at least pretty up there. No. Actually, no, let's say 5'7". No. Deku, he would just ask exactly what's everyone looking at, as they're asking if that's his hero outfit. To which he would say no. He would just open up the other side of the case, as he pulls out some pants to go over him, or go over them, as he would put on the tactical armor, the parkour kit, and whatever he needs to, along with having the pilot's helmet in his hand. As he walks out, everyone is admiring each other's hero outfits. as they're a bit confused as to why Deku's and Mei's are a bit similar. Since they both do have the same hand pieces that cover their hand, well, the Crytek suit, it has pieces over its hands, and people will just notice them on Deku and Mei, asking exactly what is that? Or what happened? To where this is whenever they would just say they've worked together on creating tech, so they know exactly what to expect from the other. As Deku and Mei would somewhat just stare at each other. Before that can continue, All Might would announce the teams, as it is going to be Deku and Mei against Bakugo and Todoroki. Now, now then, this is where Deku, he would just say that they're going to be villains, right? To which BT would just pop up on his screen. Or not on screen, pop up on his wrist, saying that there's a 75% likelihood they will be villains. To which All Might would just be a bit confused, as he says that they were, but now they're going to be heroes. As All Might would just somewhat walk away. Now, this is whenever Deku would just tell BT that he has to stop, as he would slide off this thing and put it in his pocket. As he would just say that this will be another challenge, as he puts the helmet on, as people would watch him, as he asked if BT's there. To which BT would respond, saying that that's at least good. Now, exactly what are our chances of succeeding? And what would be the best route? Well, pilot, the best route I could see is going for a bit of a tactical one, as Mei would pop up on Deku's screen. Now then, Mei would pop up on screen as she asked Deku exactly what is their plan. To which Deku would just say that he has an idea. Does she trust him? To which she would just say yeah. Good. As he would turn to her, extending his arm outwards, as these two would just fist bump. Everyone will be watching this as they cannot hear the conversation these two are having. Deku's helmet is soundproof, and Mei, with her Mark 1 armor on, is not able to create sound outside the armor. Now, this is where Todoroki is a bit confused, as he would just walk over to Bakugo, saying that they need a plan. Well, no shit. Ah, crap, I didn't expect to go up against both of them. Why are you freaking out? Well, I kinda know exactly what those two are capable of. One more than the other. Besides, if I were you, I'd be a bit more worried. Why? I can just freeze the entire corridor. Freeze. As BT would just bring that up. He has a ice quirk. And from the looks of it, it may not be the only quirk he has. To which Deku would just ask exactly what is he talking about. BT would just say that if he can turn it infrared, he might be able to get a better handle or grip on what he's talking about. He would do so saying that half his body is hot and half of it is cold. So he would just put together that he has a heating quirk too. Deku just thinks it's about radiating heat, while the other one radiates, or at least creates, ice. So the other one's a steam quirk, right? Now, this is whenever the battle would begin. Deku and Mei would just look at each other, as they would just nod. Deku would just hold his hand outwards as he shoots a grappling hook. People would be watching as Deku immediately starts flying forward and starts using his booster, as he immediately hits the wall, jumping off of it and smashing through a window. Mei just walking in. As that's happening, Deku, he's having a bit of a problem. BT would just say that the atmosphere is too cold. and if it gets any colder, his tech may be rendered useless and or temporarily disabled. Deku would just say that that has not stopped him before, so they need to hurry. Now, this is whenever Bakugo, walking down the staircase, would have heard the glass break. Turning the corner, watching Deku just standing there looking down. As Bakugo would rush in, Deku would finally look up, reacting. He would have brought his arm outwards, as he would have gone to meet Bakugo with a fist. Bakugo meeting him with an explosion, as he would be confused that Deku's arm didn't really move or back away. To which he would go to throw another one. He would just say that that's not going to work against him. As the helmet visor would come up, Deku would just say that he made something specifically to fight and actually help with parkour. Besides, as he would just bring his arm towards him, smashing it into the wall next to him, as it knocked it over. People would be in shock as they just ask what was that. To which Deku would just say to Bakugo that he's created a bit of a helping hand, as you can call it. Bakugo would just say that can't be real, right? Oh no, actually. It is. Besides, I'm not just trying to talk to you, as the lights would go out. Deku would just say that he's buying time. The visor would close as Bakugo begins to try and throw explosions directly at Deku's face, since it's the only part Bakugo can even see in the dark. Now, the light is somewhat illuminating the room, but Deku would have at least made his way out, as he would have cloaked himself. He would have pulled out a knife as he would have stabbed it into the wall, asking BT to scan. He would do so as Deku would just walk away from it, and Bakugo is getting pinged. Now, Deku would walk over as Bakugo is still trying to figure this all out. He would just ask Deku exactly where is he, as Deku would have turned the brightness on his helmet all the way up, getting directly in Bakugo's face. He would have just blinded him for a second as Deku would just go for an uppercut. As soon as that happens, Bakugo does one thing. He would have charged one for all on his leg, as he would have tried to kick it upwards, BT warning him of the kick. Deku would have actually dodged it, as whenever he does look down, he actually does see a crack form on his screen, as he immediately just uses the boost to get away as far as possible. Now before anything can even happen, as Deku's boosting away, the floor above them would collapse. Now, what is happening with Mei? Mei has just walked into the building, as the entire room is coated in ice. She would do one thing as she looks down at her wrist and taps a button. Now, that is where her armor would turn invisible, as people are asking exactly where did she go. I'm not sure, but well, if it's anything like young Midoriya, that boy, he's resourceful. So, she will be too. Now, she would just be making her way through the building as she comes up to the elevator shaft. She would open it, seeing that it's the only thing in the room not covered in ice. Besides, it's not disabled yet. As she would have an idea. She would press a button in the elevator as she walks out, and makes her way over to the staircase. The entire thing is coated in ice, but that does not matter. She would just think about this in her mind. My power source should at least try and, well, no, that's not right. Nanotech is annoying. Let's see, as she would just bring up her wrist, she would see that she has 35 minutes left, so this will at least work for her. To where she would just crack her knuckles and begin to smash her way through. Now, back over with Deku. He has already taken out Bakugo, Todoroki, he would just hear on comms that Bakugo is down. So he's the last one. Todoroki would have just been covering the entire room with more and more ice. As this is actually expanding its way into the hallway. Mei barely making it to a floor before she can get to Todoroki. Before she can even continue, she would just turn saying that the floor is destroyed. Looking down to see Deku. She would just uncloak herself as she would just say exactly what happened. Oh, apparently Bakugo, he decided to use that against him. Oh, Jesus. Huh, what? Your helmet. As Deku would just quickly pull it off, turning it back to him to look at it. Bakugo actually did take out a good chunk of the helmet, along with cracking the visor. If Deku wasn't wearing it, he could have actually gotten very, very well injured. He would just look at this for a second as he would just put it back on, as he would just somewhat sigh, saying that he has an idea. He's guessing the staircase is blocked off, correct? Yep, good. He would just walk back over the window as he just holds out his arm. Aiming it upwards, he gets a good angle, asking BT where the best place for the bomb would be. To which BT would just say 2 to 3 floors above them. Deku would just ask him to blip or scan the floor. To which he would just say out of range. Deku would just get annoyed, walking back over the wall, pulling out the knife. Putting it back in the sheath, he would walk over to Mei asking her if she needs a bit of a help. She would just say that she'll take it. As Deku would just pick her up and throw her over his shoulder as he gets ready. He's asking BT to somewhat give him a bit of a help on this. Deku immediately began by leaping upwards, boosting into the wall. As he does so, he would just push off as Mei does too. Deku would have been able to turn around as he boosts once more, smashing directly into the wall, busting straight through the window. As soon as he busts through the window, he would begin by immediately just throwing down Mei as she is landing on her back. Deku would begin rolling forward as he immediately just throws one thing straight at Todoroki. He throws what can be best described as a grenade, to which Todoroki would begin covering it in ice. As soon as that happens, ice would just not work. The grenade, the ice did catch it, but this wasn't a regular grenade. Deku was trying to stun Todoroki, and it did not work. So he would actually run around and bust straight through a wall. Todoroki being a bit confused by this. Turning around to see Deku immediately throw a left hook straight into his face. Todoroki sent flying, as he would be annoyed. Getting up off the ground, he would see Deku just crack his knuckles. As Deku would just say to Todoroki that he's not going to give up. Besides, you're outnumbered. Todoroki would begin by blasting ice straight for Deku, as he also does aim it towards Mei, trying to coat the entire room. Before that can even continue, Deku would begin by latching onto the wall on the other side of the room, boosting and actually getting his way to the wall, beginning to run on it. Todoroki would watch as Deku, he's running on the wall and actually boosting from wall to wall. Everyone in the room being everyone in the observation room being very interested by this. This guy's really a pilot. All I would just think that this is a bit interesting, yes, but how exactly long can he keep that up? He doesn't seem to be getting fatigued, so exactly what is his deal? Now, Todoroki began trying to blast ice straight up at Deku as Mei would have come in, punching him directly in the face, telling him that he's not alone. To which Todoroki would have gotten annoyed, trying to bring his leg up to kick at Mei. May would have blocked the kick as she would just jump away, as she goes sliding to the ground with her hand outward, slowing herself down. She would just say that he is not the only one with a bit of a trick. You mind turning around? Besides, you haven't been paying attention. Paying attention, as Todoroki would immediately just turn to his side, looking straight at Deku, as he heard one sound. He would have heard this grappling hook hitting the wall behind him, as Deku is boosting in. Deku would have immediately had his foot connect with Todoroki as he would have kicked him straight in the chest, sending him flying straight for the window. As that happens, Todoroki would just hit the wall and actually land, being very heavily injured, breaking quite a few ribs. Because if you guys have ever seen the game, that shit is enough to send someone airborne. So yeah, that cracked a few ribs. Now, Deku would walk over as he would put his hand on the bomb, saying that they won. All Might would just reluctantly congratulate them. Now then, that is going to be where I leave this part off of, guys. I do hope you enjoyed the video and have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part tomorrow.